I'm gonna tell you something that might save you from a really expensive mistake. I work in Queen Creek real estate every single day and I help people move here. And there are things I see people get wrong consistently that nobody warned them about before they signed. Some of them figured it out fast and loved it anyways. And some of them called me 6 months later wishing they would have known. This video is for the ones who want to know first. Stay with me. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan Williams, your Queen Creek and Greater Phoenix area real estate expert. If you're thinking about making a move to the Valley of the Sun, you are in the right place. I make videos every single week to help you figure out if this area is the right fit for your life. Go ahead and hit subscribe so you never miss one, and let's get into it. Here is what this video is not. It's not me telling you Queen Creek is a bad place to live. It's generally one of my favorite markets in the entire Phoenix metro, and I'll tell you exactly why at the end. But I've worked with enough buyers and sellers out here to know that the people who struggle in Queen Creek almost always share one thing in common. They moved here without understanding what they are actually choosing. So today, I'm gonna walk you through the 5 things that catch people off guard, the stuff that doesn't make it into the neighborhood brochure, and then I'm gonna tell you who Queen Creek is generally perfect for, because those are 2 very different lists. The first thing I wish someone had sat every Queen Creek buyer down and explained before they signed is this: the commute is not what Google Maps tells you it is. Google Maps will show you 35 minutes to downtown Phoenix on a Sunday morning. What it won't show you is that the same drive on Tuesday at 5:15, which is closer to an hour and 10 minutes. Sometimes more, depending on where you're going in the metro Phoenix area. Queen Creek is on the far southeast edge of the valley, and that's part of what makes it beautiful. The mountain views, the space, the community feel, but distance is distance. And if you are commuting into central Phoenix, Tempe, or the airport every single day, you need to drive that route in actual rush hour traffic before you fall in love with the house. I'm serious about that. Do it before you make an offer. Now, if you're remote, semi-remote, retiring, this is basically a non-issue. The distance is the point. You get more house, more space, more quiet, and you never have to sit in traffic. But eyes open if you're not. Second thing, the summer heat in Queen Creek and in Arizona in general is not an inconvenience. It's a lifestyle restructure. From roughly June through September, you will not go outside unless it's in your pool between noon and 6 p.m. unless you have to. Your car will be an oven every single time you get into it. Your electric bill will be higher than anything you've seen before. And your kids' activities, your weekend plans, your whole relationship with outdoor life, it shifts to early morning or late evenings. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying it's because the people who arrive prepared for it, who understand the just shift in rhythm, who have their car in the garage, who books maybe summer activities for 7 a.m. or 7 p.m., those people are absolutely fine. They adapt fast. The ones who struggle are the ones who were told it's a dry heat and thought that was the entire story. The flip side, I mean this genuinely, October through April in Queen Creek is some of the best weather you will ever experience. The winters are mild, the springs are stunning, and a January morning hike in the Santan Mountains, you will wonder why you ever lived somewhere else. It's a trade-off. Most people decide it's worth it, but know what you're trading. The third thing, and this one is very specific to Queen Creek because so much of the housing stock out here is new construction. The upgrades will absolutely hijack your budget if you don't go in with a very firm budget. Here's what happens. You walk into a model home, it is beautiful. The flooring, the kitchen, the lighting, all of it is the upgraded version. You fall in love and you sit down with the sales rep and then you start adding things up. The extended patio, the gourmet kitchen package, upgrading the primary bathroom, better flooring throughout. I have watched people add $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 in upgrades in a single appointment without fully registering what is actually happening. And when they close, they wonder why their monthly payment is so much higher than what they had planned. The fix is simple. Decide your upgrade ceiling before you walk into that model home. Not in the parking lot, not at the kitchen table with the sales rep, before. Write that number down and then this is important, have someone in your corner who knows what the builders are actually offering right now in terms of incentives and what's negotiable, because that changes consistently and most buyers don't know what they don't know. Fourth, Queen Creek is not just one neighborhood. It's a collection of pretty different communities that happen to share a zip code or two. And which one you land in matters more than most people realize before they get here. Harvest is amenity heavy, resort style pools, lots of events, strong community programming, and skews towards some younger families. Meridian is newer, more spacious lots, quieter feel. Ironwood Crossing has it all established longer and has a different price point. Some communities allow short-term rentals, some have specific HOA rules about paint colors and where you can park. The mistake I see is people choosing Queen Creek as a city and then picking a neighborhood based purely on what's available at their price point without asking what the community actually feels like to live in. Those are two very different questions and they both matter. This is genuinely one of the most valuable conversations I have with buyers, matching the right community to what they actually want to live, and not just the house that they can afford. If you want to have that conversation, I will tell you exactly where to reach me at the end of this video. Fifth thing, and this is the one I almost didn't include because it's the most uncomfortable to say as someone who works in this market. For some people, not all, but some, the distance and the suburban layout of Queen Creek creates a real feeling of isolation, especially in that first year. If you're moving from a very walkable city, maybe Seattle, Chicago, or any major urban area, you could walk to coffee, run into neighbors, feel the energy of a place just by stepping outside. Queen Creek is a significant adjustment. It is very car dependent. It is very spread out. And if you don't have kids plugging you into school and sports communities, or if you're not intentional about finding your people, it can feel lonelier than you might have expected. I want to be honest about that because I've had clients call me at the 6-month mark who were just surprised by that feeling. They love their house, they love the area, but they just hadn't anticipated how much work it would take to build a social life from scratch in a brand new suburb. The counter to this, and it's a real counter, is that Queen Creek has one of the strongest intentional community cultures I've seen in the valley. The people who thrive here are the ones who lean into that. The farmers market, the community events, the neighborhood groups, the sports leagues. If you're willing to put yourself out there, you will find your people here, but it requires intention in the way that a denser city doesn't require. Here's what I want you to notice about everything I just told you. Not one of those 5 things is a reason not to move to Queen Creek. Every single one of them is a reason to move to Queen Creek correctly. The commute, solvable if you plan on it or don't have one. The heat, manageable when you understand that rhythm. The upgrades, completely avoidable with a ceiling and the right guidance. The community matching, straightforward when somebody knows the market and helps you land in the right spot. The isolation risk is real. It's beatable for someone who is willing to lean into what this place actually offers. The people who struggle in Queen Creek almost always have one thing in common. They were surprised. They moved here on vibes and brochures and a Google Map commute time on a Sunday. The people who thrive here, and I've watched hundreds of them do it, knew exactly what they were choosing. They chose it on purpose, and Queen Creek rewards that. That's the whole point of this video. Not don't move here right. So let me tell you who Queen Creek is generally almost perfectly suited for, because that list is long. If you're a family relocating from a high cost of living state, California, Illinois, the Northeast, and you want a newer home with space, a school district that's actually great, and a community where your kids will grow up knowing their neighbors, Queen Creek is close to the top of that list for you. The value per square foot, the schools, the family infrastructure out here, it's hard to beat anywhere in the valley at this price point. If you're a remote worker who's been watching your housing budget go further and further in your current city and wondering what else is possible, come look at what that same budget gets you in Queen Creek. I've had clients move here from the Bay Area and nearly cry at the closing table in a good way. If you're approaching retirement and you want warmth, outdoor access, low property taxes, and a community that actually has a heartbeat, the East Valley and Queen Creek specifically should be on your short list. I have a whole whole separate video of the best retirement areas in the Phoenix Metro, and I'm gonna link that below. If you're the person who's been doing all of the research, the one with the browser full of tabs open about schools and neighborhoods and what summers are actually like, this video is made for you. You're exactly the kind of person who thrives here because they're going in with eyes wide open. If this video helped you feel more prepared, less like you're guessing, and more like you actually understand what you'd be choosing, this is exactly why I make these. If you're at the point where you want to talk specifics, your timeline, your situation, which community within Queen Creek actually fits your life, reach out to me directly. My number is right below this video in the description. Call or text me anytime. I answer my own calls. I'd rather spend 20 minutes on the phone with you now figuring out if this is the right move than have you move here and realize 6 months in that nobody told you the real story. Let's talk.